Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Hope everybody's well. Just watching Shane and DJ on the retro show. That's a great show, that, man. I love that. Love that. All the old retro shirts takes me back in time, mate. It really does.
Yeah, some classics. There's some classics on there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of them shirts. Big up, Gracie, mate. Hope you're well. I meant to say the other week for your birthday. But yeah, let's get into the big up Mama as well before we get started. Shane, how you doing, my friend?
All good, man. All good. Looking forward to it. Elite panel, elite chat, as always. And yeah, for once, we're sort of looking at some hopefully positive things for Arsenal. You know, hopefully we're looking, you know, and not just rumours, actual confirmed, you know, signings and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Thanks for having me on. As always, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's always good to have you guys on. Ken, how you doing, my friend? How's it in North London?
You know what? Like, as I said before, you know the temperatures are very damp at the moment, which is good. It's not as boiling as it was, but I'm sure it's going to come back. But you know, a lot of things have been happening. You know, as I told to you guys yesterday, I spent a weekend Saturday at the Kaleidoscope Festival in Ali Pali. It's good with the family. And it's just a transfer speculation. It's going to go down the wire. You know, we heard rumours from a Portuguese outlet that all is not well with this Gyokeres deal. That you know there's talks of collapse, but that's all news. You know, if anyone thought that, let's just pray that Gyokeres is ready for Man United. As you know, Jez and everyone else, I have reservations about the player, but it's what the majority want, and I just hope it works out.
True. Yeah. DJB, mate, how you doing? Great show.
Yeah, all good, Jez. Yeah, all good. Had the busy weekend, and then I've been watching the Test match as well. That was exciting because I'd like my cricket, and a little bit of county cricket as well. So yeah, all good, and just keeping an eye on this transfer and. Hopefully it's all going to be positive and it's all going to be good. Like any signing, you know, you have to judge them after a certain amount of time and see with your own eyes. You can't listen to all this, what's on paper and everything else, because we don't know how they're going to turn out until you actually start seeing them play. And hopefully they will do a good job for us. But time will tell, my friend. Time will tell.
No, that's a good point, man. Sigma's off to see the Ali Pali on Saturday to see the Kaiser Chiefs. Oh, wow. Right. Good band.
Right.
Yeah, good band. Big up to Donna Potts.
Big up, Donna.
And yeah, let's get into this, right? I saw today. Looks like Trossard's on his way. Possibly buying. Lee's going to be here in a couple of minutes. He's just notified me. Looks like he's going. Bayern Munich are in the fray. Fenerbahce. Prospal talk, 17 odd million pounds. We paid, what was it, 20 mil? So I think that's a fair trade to move him on. So what do you think about it, Shane? I don't think he had a great season, did he, last year?
No, I don't think he was ever good enough. I did think that if they were going to get rid of someone, that it would have been Martinelli, for the sheer reason that if we're bringing in a left winger, that Trossard would be more of a bench impact player. But I don't know if Martinelli, maybe they couldn't get the offer from him. I said this morning, and I stand by it. I wouldn't be overly surprised if both of them go before the end of the transfer window to get Eze in. And I know that Arteta's meant to see Madueke as a left winger, which I just think is a horrendous idea. He started 7 games at the left last season, and he scored 0 and assisted 0. I'm not a stats man; like, I don't normally use stats, but that's just a damning stat. If he sees him as a left winger, I do worry, because I don't think Gyokeres, if we do get him, is the type of player who needs a same-footed winger. I think he needs opposite-footed wingers to cut in and play him through on the ground. I don't think he's a sort of whip ball sort of forward, but there's so much of it up in the air at the moment that it's hard to pick our first team for the start of the season. But with the Trossard thing, you know, I'd get rid of him. If you can get 15, 17 million pound, It's more than a good deal. More than a good deal, considering we paid 20, whatever it was. I think it was just 20 for him. So that would be more than a good deal, and it would show that we aren't the way we've always just let players go, ripping up contracts and stuff like that. If Berta can get him out, I think he'll get Zinchenko out. I think Fabio Vieira could go to Parma. Apparently, they're looking at him. And if there's anyone interested at all, I think Berta will get it done. And I do think if the Eze thing is going to come true, we need to ship maybe 3-4 players. I think after Gyokeres, if he does come in, I'm pretty sure it's going to go through. And Madueke is basically done. I think that's the end of it for incomings, unless we sell. I think now he's going to sell 3 or 4, try and get in Eze, and then I think that'll be it. If we got Eze in, great. Seeing him at the left wing, where Arteta will definitely play him. I don't see him replacing Odegaard. But we'll see. We'll see. The Madueke thing, I just think it was a ridiculous signing. I really do. Not just because of the money, not just because of it. Just he doesn't improve the team in any way, shape, or form. But getting rid of Trossard is a good bit of business. If we get anything close to that, I'd be happy with that. See who else he can shift. Let's see if he can shift Zinchenko. Let's see if he can shift Kivior if he wants to. And we'll see. It's going to be big changes. Big changes. People sort of think that all these players are going to come in and we just get instantly better. If you remember when Forest came up, they did this. They signed, I think it was 20 players or something they signed. And they were only 2 from going down. You know what I mean? When you get in a load of new players, it's very hard for them all to settle in. And then we have to remember that there's 8 players that have had surgeries from last season. Some of them are going to drop. I mean, that's you can almost guarantee that at least 50% of them will struggle for a period with little niggly injuries or maybe even major injuries. So these players that people keep saying are backups and Norgards and stuff like that, it only takes a couple of injuries and a suspension. And these are the guys starting away to Newcastle or starting at the home to City. So I still have little to no hope for next season. The Gyokeres thing changes a bit, but I'm with Kenny. You know, I still have a few reservations about the guy. I mean, he couldn't cut it in the Premier League before. I still think he's the best out there that's available. He's the one I wanted. But I do have reservations as well, again, about the way he handled the transfer. If you look back to the 90s, Pierre Van Hooydonk did the same thing and was absolutely vilified, globally vilified, or at least across Europe vilified. I think for a club that made Gyokeres, I think he handled it quite poorly in my eyes. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. About all the players we signed, I think he's the only one that improves us because we needed a striker desperately. I don't think Zubamendi improves us. I think it's a side step at best. And the rest of them don't improve us. So we'll see. But getting rid of Trossard will be a good bit of business. I've never been overly fond of the guy. I've never been overly fond of him. So, I mean, if we can get 15 million for him, yeah, I'd take that right now. Take it right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, he didn't have a great season. He didn't look happy to me last season. He looked pretty pissed off, actually. Kenny Ken, Jesus, he's got to go, isn't he? You've got to get rid of him. He's burnt out. He's done.
Well, it's on the basis of the fact he's worked his nuts off. He really works hard for the team. He's been lucky with injuries. However, you know, we can't wait for him to come good. You know, he's had 2 serious injuries in areas where he's never going to be the same player again. As well, not for us anyway. So it's a no-brainer that we have to, you know, maybe at the end of this season, coming season, we have to cut links with him. You think about the salary he's on, and the fact that we're not going to get value for money for him anymore anyway. So it's a no-brainer. I would 100% look to move him on. You know, going back to the Trossard thing, you know, what Shane says, I totally agree with everything Shane said. But I had one more thing. It was no accident that on the 11th hour last year in September, the Saudis put in a £40 million offer for him. You don't just put an offer in at 11th hour for a player if there hasn't been some sort of agreement or encouragement from the players' representatives. So as far as that's a player that's trying to see what's out there and seeing engineering the move in such a way. And I think last season, you know, Trossard should be very happy with what he's done for us because you think about a player who's not a massive name. He got as much out of his career that he could at Arsenal. In fact, I think he overachieved. I think he overachieved because you think about it, he was never going to be that player who's going to take us to the promised land. He was an impact player at best, could start a few games, horse courses guy, and we got the best out of him. but it's time to move on because we have to have better quality in the team. And you know, he's a worker. He's got some good individual technique, but I can think of about 10 players in his position that are better than him. In fact, level.
True. I totally agree with you. I just think last year he fell off the cliff. Last year, he didn't look happy at the club. He scored those couple of goals. He didn't really celebrate it. DJ, Trossard, time to move him on.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, his head was turned when Saudis came in for him. I think it was on the cards that he was going to go. He was definitely one of the. I think he was one of the players that was kind of earmarked to leave the club, Trossard. And we always said that Martinelli as well. With offers coming for Martinelli, he's another one that's probably got to be moved on. As much as a lot of the fan base don't want to see him go, I think it's the facts of the matter is we've got to get players out the door, and I think that's got to be his next move now. If these players come in, we've still got to get players out, and I think that's Berta's next move. But for me, Trossard was the kind of player that we kind of needed at the time, and when he's come on, he's done some good things. But he was, in my opinion, he was never going to be that kind of Arsenal kind of legend of a player that was going to start and play for 90 minutes and set the world alight. He's a good, steady player in my book, but he was never
impact player,
one that kind of going to set the place alight. But listen, he hasn't done a bad job at Arsenal, to be honest. I mean, I can't. If he does move on, he's not one that I'm going to criticise and say, oh, he was awful and he was this and he was that. He done okay. But it is time to cash in on him, and it's time to cash in on a few players, Jez. You know, as I said, Martinelli's got to be one of them. Kivior, for me, has got to be another one. And this is what we've got to do now, you know. So, yeah, if we can get around about 17, 18 mil for him, then I think
it's the books, doesn't it?
I think we've got to do it. Yeah.
I think so. I think, you know, one of the things I've always said is that you always have to refresh the squad, and I think players get a stale, move them out. Lee, I'll throw this one into you, mate. I saw this morning, right? Paul Merson talking about Madueke and Eze. He's saying that he basically, it's on Sky Sports, by the way. Madueke, is he being brought in because the possibility Saka is going? I mean, bollocks.
Oh dear. First and foremost, sorry I'm late, mate. I fell asleep. The heat knocked me out on the sofa. I woke up sweating and dribbling like a Roman. So yeah, I had a quick shower and here we are. But yes, big up to everyone locked in as well. Big up to the panel. Big up to the chat. But yeah, Paul Merson must be on Spice or something, because like, I swear, mate, some of the stuff he comes out with, what is he talking about, Jez? I ain't even seen it. But if you're saying that you think Saka's leaving, well, where's he going then? Like, we're going to do a swap deal for him and Rodrigo or something? Like, I don't see where he's going. Yeah, he ain't going to go buy Munich. They ain't got the money to buy him. Real Madrid could buy him, but let's just be real, they ain't buying him. Yeah, I don't see him leaving. Well, where's he going? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. And the thing is, Madueke as well. Yeah, I actually think he's here to play left wing.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the left winger. Yeah, and I said this on the show the other night. I think he's like, because he can drag us up the pitch, because he's good carrying the ball apparently. And you know the way this manager loves to dominate the ball and the possession of the ball, without just aimlessly spanking it into like areas of the pitch and making players chase it. Yeah, he wants it all at feet, all times, pass. Madueke is not very good. He's not a great footballer, is he? Let's be real with it. Yeah, but I reckon he's going to be used a bit like Grealish. Yeah, drag us up the pitch, stop, pass sideways, and because he's unpredictable, and he don't even know what he's going to do when he gets the ball, does he? Let's be real. Yeah, he's going to attract a couple of players over to him, which means Declan Rice on the inside is going to be wide open at times. straight into him, bang, straight into Gyokeres. Yeah, straight into him, then that sort of Saka, then into Gyokeres. Yeah, I think that's why it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. I think he's here to play left wing and do similar to Jack. He's nowhere near Jack Grealish, by the way. I'm just using that as an example, but because that's how Jack plays for City. It's not like Jack Grealish is taking the player on and crossing the ball, is it? Yeah, he'll drag you up the pitch, he'll slow down, he'll stop, and he'll pass sideways, or he'll win free kicks. I reckon that's what he's here for. And it's going to be prime drama watching it unfold, by the way. Yeah, because this guy is running like a baby giraffe most of the time.
Thing is, I don't. Is he right? I'll ask this question. Anybody answer? We'll throw it in here, right? I like Martinelli. I think he has regressed under this manager personally. Just say what you think on this one, because I think Martinelli, he'll be gone.
I reckon he's going. I reckon if he leaves, he's going Bayern. Yeah, Bayern need a left winger. It's quite clear they're in for left wingers. They actually need a few wingers because they've only got Elise. Gnabry's finished. Sane's left. Sayers Tell's gone to Tottenham, and Kingsley Coman's fallen off a cliff in the last 12 months. So I reckon they're in for at least one winger. Apparently they're going for Luis Diaz from Liverpool.
Bid rejected today,
60 odd mil or 60 odd million euros or something. But I reckon they're in for a couple of wingers. Yeah, and they got their eye probably on Martinelli, probably on Rodrigo, Luis Diaz, maybe another one, maybe someone else we ain't thought of. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Martinelli I think that he had so much potential. Shane, I mean, I liked when he first broke into the Arsenal squad team, whatever. I thought, here we go, we got a right little player here now. But to me, he's just gone slowly over 2-3 seasons. Probably 2 seasons. He's just gone on a downward slope. Yep. Now, that to me is purely down to the fact he hasn't been given the direction from the manager. Because, hey, come on, this manager is supposed to be the best young coach in the world. I haven't actually seen yet him coach any player to be better than they were when they came in. A lot of these players I'm seeing have gone backwards.
Yep.
So for me, I like Martinelli. I've always said from day one I thought he was a class player there. But then again, I did say there's a player in Havertz. I got that one wrong, didn't I? In fairness. But at the end of the day, mate, what do you reckon? Do you reckon he's going to go?
Yeah, like I said, I think if we're going to get Eze, who I think, again, I'm with Lee with the Madueke thing, I think that if we do get Eze, it's for the exact same reason. And someone compared it, funnily enough, to Jack Grealish today on my chat, said that if he gets Eze, he'll just turn him into a Grealish. And I think it's the same at Madueke. I think he did too much of a system. But when it comes to Martinelli, it's strange, isn't it, how he's fallen off a cliff and how Saka's numbers will be a lot higher under a different manager when people like Tom Canton are saying that Arteta's improved every single attacking player we have. To make a statement. He said that. Yeah. He said that on the stream. That why wouldn't Madueke want to come to a club where the manager has improved every single attacking player? And then he went on to say, well, in fact, he's improved every player. That's why we're breaking records all over the place. Right. So, yep. But the Martinelli that played under Emery, who I got told today, by the way, just as another caveat, I got told today in the chat that Emery was on the verge of getting us relegated when Arteta came in.
Yeah,
so gone from 8 places.
You showed me that. I couldn't believe that, man. I couldn't believe that.
That's the narrative we're going now, but I digress. Martinelli under Emery got 12 and 14. Remember that goal against Chelsea when he took it from the halfway line? Ran beat a load of players, slotted at home. He is everything that Arteta doesn't like in a player, or was unpredictable, take players on left, right, cut inside, shoot from different angles, take it to the byline, whip it back. He has been just slowly turned into one of the most exciting young players I've seen at Arsenal for a long time. He's been slowly just turned into a winger that tracks back. That's all he is a winger that tracks back. Same with Saka. People say about Saka how great he is. I argue that and say under another manager, a Hansi Flick, something like that, his numbers would be even higher. Because he wouldn't. You look at Slot with Salah. He came in and he said, "Stop tracking back so much. You need your energy when you go forward. Why are you burning your energy?" I'm not saying that. People always take this as me saying attacking players should just never track back. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if a team is attacking down our right, our opposite side winger shouldn't be bursting a gut to get back. He should be jogging back, because by the time the ball gets over to him, He'll be back in time. He shouldn't be coming back into a regimented block of 11 players. So with Martinelli, I want him to go for him because I like the guy so much. I think he gives everything. He gives everything. And I'd like to see him go and show what he can do because he is wasted at Arsenal. Absolutely wasted. I don't know if he's gone too far now that it'll take almost like a cult where you have to deprogram him from these tactics. I don't know. But, I mean, for Martinelli, I do think if we're going to get Eze, we'll have to sell Trossard and Martinelli, and then we'll have Eze and Madueke as our wingers. But all that does then is just leave Saka bare again, because I've had someone say, oh, it's great that we've got Madueke now because now Saka won't have to play as many games. And I said, well, he's had cover before and he played 78 games or whatever it was on the spin. He got absolutely flogged. So even when we have the players, if Saka can walk, he's starting. It doesn't matter who we have to come in and back him up because they're not going to back him up because he doesn't sub him off when we're fighting up against Lons. He doesn't sub him off when we're smashing City. This guy is going to be on the pitch all the time if he can walk. But for Martinelli, my reasoning for wanting him to go is, yes, we need to raise funds. I don't think, unless, again, if Arteta was to get sacked early next season and Martinelli was still here, I'd want him to stay because I think a new manager could come in and reinvent him, give him a love of attacking football again. But for his sake, I'd like him to go and get football somewhere else, go to Bayern Munich, ball out there, show everybody what he can actually do, with the World Cup year and stuff coming like that. That might be in his mind as well. If he wants to get in the Brazil squad, he's going to have to really, really step it up, and he won't be able to do that here. But as far as him leaving, I can see it happening. I think Bayern will go in for both. I think they'll go in for Trossard and Martinelli and then pick when they decide which one they can get. I do think Martinelli or Trossard's more likely to go to Turkey, I say, unless the Saudis come in again last minute. He'll probably go there for the money. But for Martinelli, yeah, I'd like to see him go do it somewhere else. I'd like to see him because I don't think under this manager he can ever get back. We have to remember under this manager, the only good season he had was 22-23. Yes, there were seasons sandwiching that were okay, but the only time when I was watching him go and give him the ball, let Martinelli have the ball, was that 22-23. Everything fell apart that season. Teams realised after Sean Dyche beat us 1-0 on his first Everton game that, oh, right, a low block stops this. And then we fell off. People say it's a Saliba injury. That was only part of it, but we fell off. For me, it was people realised that a low block can stop this manager. But Martinelli that season, there was several players you could have said about that season. Give him the ball. He's got it. I remember him against Liverpool. He scored in the first minute at Anfield. And I was just, this guy is unbelievable. This is what we needed. And this manager, through the PTSD of throwing that league away, has slowly ground these players down from exciting, explosive wingers to just wingers that track back. That's all I see now is just wingers that track back. I mean, and I'll finish on this. It's separate to Martinelli, but it's also linked. And it broke my heart last season was when Ranieri finally got a couple of microwave minutes again at the end of the season. I think it was against Bournemouth. And the ball was spread across the pitch and he took it down like he did against City when he scored against them in the 5-1. And he shifted inside and I went, yes, hit it. And he stopped and just laid it back and I went, he's already got to him. He's already gotten to him. And you could see it killed him to do it. Just like when he got booked for time wasting in the first half against Brighton. It killed him to do it. A 17-year-old who plays the way Ranieri plays does not want a time waste. It's not in their nature. They just want to play football. And I thought he's gotten to him. And the same happened to Martinelli. It just rewinded 3 years. And that's when it started with him. You could see it the following season. Why is he stopping? Why is he cutting back inside? Take on your man, And then by the time he does get forward, you see him clean through. And just at that last second, he's just got no energy left because he spent it all tracking back. So for Martinelli, I do think he'll go. I think Trossard and Martinelli will both go. If we're going to get Eze, we're going to have to sell to get him in. And then we'll have a whole new left-hand side, which again will take time to adapt. And Arteta will have all his excuses lined up.
DJ, this one, I've seen this one going about today. Darren Martin saying, Vinny Jr. refused to sign new contract. Market opportunity?
Massive market opportunity, but yeah, it ain't happening. It's not happening at Arsenal. No way. I mean, I don't even think Rodrigo's. I think
somebody told me today.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is it's Arsenal Link FC, and we're linked with everyone at the moment. But no, I can't see that, Jez. But Martinelli's days were numbered when this guy wanted to sign Mudryk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as he went in for Mudryk, Martinelli's confidence went downhill.
During his best season, by the way, DJ.
The problem is with this manager, with people like Martinelli, he does not know how to move them into positions to get their kind of confidence back. And under Unai Emery, we saw what Martinelli was capable of. Since then, under this manager, season in, season out, he's just not been effective enough. No. Even the basics, even getting his head up. He can't even get his head up at the moment.
Do you think he's missed? Look, I'll throw this one in. When he was playing good football, he was linking up with Tierney down that left, the overlap.
Yeah.
I think when Tierney went out of the team, he missed him.
Yes,
that's a good point. I mean, he's had to work with different left backs. He's had to work with an inverted left back in Zinchenko, and then Tierney went out the team, and then Skelly's come in, and he's had centre backs playing at left backs that he's had to try and work with. And you can see his confidence has just slowly gone game by game. You know, he gets into goal scoring positions, and he's in two minds, and you know he's. I think with a lot of our players, they're fearful. They're fearful of making mistakes. They're fearful of getting it wrong, and this is what the manager has sort of put into them. And it's true. What Wanyeri's another one for me. People saying, "Oh, Wanyeri's going to sign another contract." If I was to take my Arsenal hat off, I'd want Wanyeri to go for the sake of his career. To be honest with you, because he's way down the pecking order now at this football club, way down. Yeah. And if Eze comes in, he's going to be even further down. He's not going to get above Saka. He's not going to get above Havertz. He ain't going to get above Odegaard, and he ain't going to get above Eze. He should do. He should get above some of them players, but the point of the fact, he ain't going to. So I think Wanyeri's got to move on. And it's the same as Martinelli. Get out the club, because one thing with Martinelli, if he's under a proper coach, Jez, you'll see Martinelli. You'll see Martinelli at some point be the player that we've all seen in seasons gone by. There's a player in there. There is definitely a player in there, but not under this manager. And he's just got worse. And as I said, when Mudryk and all that was linked, and he tried to sign Mudryk, and he was, you know, doing everything he can to get Mudryk to the club. Because if Mudryk had come to Arsenal, Martinelli would have been sidelined. He would have been pushed to one side. There's no way he'd have played. So he never fancied him anyway, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, if we can cash in on Martinelli, he's another one that's got to go.
Wasn't an Arteta signing, was he?
No, he weren't Arteta signing. And as I said, he had his best time under Unai Emery when he was playing central, and he was banging in goals, and he was up for it. You could see his body language. He was getting in good positions. He was scoring goals. Now you look like a lot of the players. Their heads are down. They feel dejected. You know, it will creep back in again, Jez. I mean, these players now, if we get off to a bad start of the season, come Christmas and all of that, you'll see the body language in the likes of Saliba and stuff like that.
You've seen it last season, Jez.
Yeah.
Ask you this same thing, mate. I think Martinelli, in his early part of his career at Arsenal, I thought he had class. To me now, he's not the player he once was. I'm sorry to upset the Arteta sexuals. It's the manager. He, to me, enjoyed playing alongside Tierney. They linked up beautifully together, each overlapping at times. That's gone. Mate, what do you reckon? Lee, hello.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Kenny. Sorry.
No.
I thought you were saying Kenny. My bad. Yeah, I agree, man. This left-hand side has been a problem of ours for years. Yeah, and every time we buy someone on the left 8 position, left back or left wing, we get told, oh, they're going to unlock Martinelli. They're going to unlock this player, Mikel Merino and Calafiore. They're going to unlock Martinelli. Did they leave the key at home? Like, what are we doing here? It's a load of bollocks, Shez. The thing is, with this manager in charge, we're going to see the same shit. Yeah, and so I'm happy that we're signing Gyokeres. Yeah, he's the best available we could buy. Like, best striker in Europe last season, out-and-out striker. Yeah, Zubimendi, very good player as well. Yeah, but the goalkeeper, bit weird. Not for me. We could have kept Cole Hine and put him on a bit more money. We could have Mosquera. Okay, whatever, cool. I don't see him playing a lot of games, but again, I'm really too fussed about that one. But again, people were making out they watch Valencia every week and they don't. Oh, it's a great bit of business. How do you know? You've never watched him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had this argument with Fuad last night. How is that good business? How many times have you watched him? Oh, you haven't. So how do you know it's good business then? How do you know he's worth 20 million euro all in? Maybe he's worth 2 million. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, I understand people get hyped up about signings and this and that, yeah, right? But Madueke, sorry, mate, that's 50 million down the drain. I don't care whether he scores 15 goals this season. He ain't winning me a title. Yeah, and that's all I want. I want a trophy, mate. I want a title. But
that could have gone towards Eze. Kenny Ken, Martinelli. I mean, and also, answer me this one as well, Martin. What's going to happen, Martinelli, and also Kenny Ken? Do you think we should get rid of Odegaard? And do you think? And I'll come to you after Shane, after Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we'll do a round robin on this one. Martinelli, I think he should go for his own betterment. And Odegaard, I think he's just shit anyway. But do we think we should change the captain?
Well, in terms of like the Odegaard thing, the captaincy is not going to change. It's his for as long as he wants it. The only way you lose captain. The only time players lose a captaincy is if they leave the football club or there's a serious breach of club discipline. You know, Mikel Arteta's made a decision. I believe that he's the most popular person in the club anyway. He's got to be, because he would have, knowing Mikel, would probably have asked his teammates, and just like Emery did with Xhaka. So maybe that's why he's got a captaincy. Trouble with Martin Odegaard is, as long as Mikel Arteta is there, as long as he's got a lot of like fans in the club, they're always going to use the buzzword credit in the bank. The season was, I don't think they realised how bad that season was, where it was open for debate, how bad he was. And then it's going to lend to the fact, as he's gone as far as he can in terms of talent-wise. You know, what we saw in 2023, 4 and 2022, 3, is that the best we're going to see of Odegaard? We're going to find out next season. But the best way for us to find out how good Odegaard is if we get some proper competition for him. You know, getting players like Eze in the side, who isn't exactly a left winger, and you know, Jack Ramsey, Crystal Palace fan, says he's no left winger, but he can do the sort of things that Odegaard can do. So that's competition. Who, you know, there's a spot there if Odegaard falls off the radar. But for me, if it doesn't improve in January, then I'm all for him being moved on. I don't think the only way is not. I don't think he's got credit in the bank. But I know the manager does, and know his majority do. However, when it comes to Martinelli, you know, I tapped out Martinelli as early as last season. I mean, 23-24 season. You know, I saw what I saw, and I thought, right, this is an off-the-cuff player who plays his best football when he's just told to go out and play. Unfortunately, he's playing for a manager who restricts him tactically, restricts everything he does and is basically taking it away from him. However, my issue with Martinelli is that
big up Cole.
With Saka has still managed to add something to his game in terms of like he is more than capable of taking his game to the next level. Some people think he has. So some people think Saka's world class. I don't. I always say to people that Saka's just give it a few more months. He's close to world class, but not that close at the moment. And people who are Saka fans are ready to fight. His compatriots are ready to fight me, and I just laugh at them because, you know, days I'm just going for footballing reasons. He's a fantastic player, Bukayo Saka, but there's still a little bit more that I need from him, and maybe who knows, maybe another manager can get him to that level where he deserves to be world class. Because he's on the way there. His first pick for England. He's perfect for a football club, you know, a big football club like Arsenal and a big footballing country like England. Now you look at Martinelli. I can't say the same thing about Martinelli. Saka's got the same restrictions, but I'm this close to saying he's world class. With Martinelli, as far I'm afraid to say, the Martinelli is an off the cuff player, but once you take that away from him, there's nothing more coming. You ain't going to see any levels to his game. I think you've seen the best of Martinelli. And then the Martinelli you know and love, you're only going to see him is if he's given no defensive responsibilities. Well, in modern football, that's not going to happen. Whether you like it or not, if you play in the position Martinelli plays, he's going to have defensive responsibilities and have restrictions. Unfortunately, I do think that for his age, that we should look to sell, because all this money that we're meant to be spending, all this money on Gyokeres, we're meant to spend all this money on Madueke, and we're meant to be spending all this money on Eze, and then we're looking at Rodrigo. I'm sorry, has someone done this? Has someone has someone doing the sums here? Where are we getting the money from? You can cry, people can cry all they like about the Martinelli loving and blah blah, but do the sums. Do the sums. If you don't want to talk about his football ability, just do the sums. Tell me someone other than Martinelli who fetches big money, and don't go to the usual suspects like Zinchenko, players like Nelson. We've already got rid of Tierney. How much money you get for Tierney? How much? A penny? Just do the sums. Do the sums. You're not going to get much for Zinchenko. You'd be lucky if you get £1 for Nelson. Kivior get much for either. So someone do the sums, because the sums don't add up. With all the money we're spending, and then we're going to keep Martinelli for squad depths. Is that so? A player that everyone thinks is elite, he's now impact sub, a squad depth. Make footballing sense. Help me out here. Do the sums.
It is. That is. I mean, you couldn't say it better, man. But as Gary here, if we get Gyokeres, old Miss Kieran Tierney, that guy puts some wonderful crosses into the box time and time again, which is very true, and no one was there.
100%.
I mean, this is the worry that if we do get eventually Gyokeres, apparently he's having his medical on Friday. Somebody's just told me here. Mr. Pads, hi Jez, saw some Turkish journal just say now that Gyokeres will do his medical on Friday and will be on 135 bags a week. Hilarious to think he'd only earn only that. I mean, that seems a little bit odd to me.
I think his agent's Turkish, isn't he? I think his agent's Turkish, so maybe that is true. I don't know. But yeah, if he's on 135 grand a week, that's 90 grand more than he's on now. Yeah, it's like half what Jesus. It's 90 grand more than he's on at Sporting.
Yeah.
And it's decent money though, isn't it? Let's be real with it. 135 grand. Yeah, and he's coming in as the main striker. That's decent work from Berta if that's the case. Yeah, and the fee we've bought him for, it's an absolute bargain. Yeah, and let's assume, right? Let's assume worst ways, because I know there's a lot of Sesko lovers out there, right? Let's assume that he comes in and he flops. You're still going to get most of your money back.
Probably more.
Because he ain't on massive wages. Yeah, and he's only costing 55 M's. So if he flops next summer, you flog him. Then you still got most of your money back.
Exactly.
I see people saying he didn't do any good at Coventry. He didn't do any good at Brighton. So why is he going to be any good at Arsenal?
Well, of course. Zubimendi's never done any good at Arsenal either, has he?
Well,
this is what makes me laugh with these people, Jez, here. Right? Because if your face fits, they'll say, yeah, everything's great. And if your face don't fit, they don't want you, and you've got an attitude problem, and you're shit, and you didn't do it in this league or that league. Then at the same time, the same people sit there cussing off every other league around the world, saying they're all farmers' leagues. Yeah, cool. Why do they want Sesko then? Why are they all gassing up Mosquera then? Why are they gassing up Zubimendi then? And most of our players have come from other leagues. How many players of ours have come from the Premier League? Actually started their careers in the Premier League.
I can't think of many.
Exactly. And this is my point. Yeah. If your face fits, it's like Madueke, yeah? Oh, it's good. It's good. It's Prem experience, Prem proven. Yeah, he's proven he ain't good enough, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then they go, oh yeah, but it's good. It's smart business. No, it ain't. Yeah. Oh, but Norgard. Oh, that's smart business. No, it ain't. He sat there on a little video clip. I think Arsenal were doing, saying he was sat in the back of a car, looking at his T-shirt with his name and number on the back, and he went, "Christmas is real, but this doesn't seem real." Yeah,
he was crying when his kid came in.
Yeah, he was crying and all of this. It was like, fair
Oh,
enough, cool. He's happy that he's signing. Yeah, but at the same time, bro,
it just shows how fucking ridiculous the move is that he was that stunned that it's happened. He still can't believe it. Even he can't believe it. But you know what I mean? Like, even he's stunned that that's why he's saying, "Oh, it's like this is a dream. Wake me up." Yeah,
that's what he's saying. He went, Christmas is real.
Yeah,
yeah, but this doesn't feel real.
It.
Yeah, and it was like, mate, Christmas is a fucking marketing scam as well, mate. The same as this football club. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's sitting in the back of a car there with his brother or his agent, or whatever it is, and then his kid. His face, he couldn't believe that he's looking at his own shirt. And I'm like, this guy.
I still think he was waiting for his agent to go April Fools right up until the end, man. I still think he was. Yeah, I'd say when his agent rang him and said, "Arsenal are looking for you," he probably thought it was his mate. Fuck off, John.
Yeah, he had the same feeling as Arteta did when he got the manager's job at Arsenal. He went out, he's missing. I can't believe it. I was putting out cones for Man City. Now suddenly I'm in charge of one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah, but this is what they do. Like, this is what these people do. Yeah, they allow this. Yeah, it's not the player's fault that we're signing him. If Arsenal go in for him, of course he's going to say yeah. Yeah, but this is what Arteta's done. Is that he's got a long rap sheet of this. Yeah, he buys players that are on the edge of a football club, like a Man City. Yeah, so it was Zinchenko or Jesus. They weren't first team week in, week out. They'd get little odd games here and there. They were squad players. Yeah, they were basically the Norgards and the other players that we've signed. Yeah, right. Or what he'll do is he'll go and buy a player that's coming towards the end of his career, like a Jorginho. So now he's just grateful because he's got a pay rise and he's going to be looked after financially. Yeah. Or he'll go and buy a load of players that are at clubs smaller than Arsenal.
Facts.
Yeah, because now he can give them a big pay rise. Now they do as they're fucking told. Yeah, there's not one player in that squad that is going to go against him. Not one.
And they can sit there and be grateful that they're playing for Arsenal Football Club where they are.
And I'd say that's the mentality he uses as well. You better be grateful for what I've done for you.
Look at what I've done for you.
Through his own career. He's living vicariously through his own career. He was given a shot at Arsenal, and he doesn't get the appreciation.
You was playing for Brentford. Now just be grateful. You was playing for Sociedad. Be grateful.
For you. It's a cult leader mentality. Look what I did for you. You'd be nowhere without me. If you didn't have me, you'd be absolutely nowhere. Same as an abusive partner. It's the same mentality. You just whip them into shape.
When do we ever go to another club and steal their best player and it's a club that's bigger than us? When do we go to a Real Madrid, or go to Man City, or to Man United, because they are bigger than us, believe it or not, guys, or Liverpool, and say, right, we're having him. Yeah. When was the last time, by the way, as well? In fact, I think I know the answer. Somebody put it in my chat. When was the last time Liverpool and Man United swapped a player? Like, okay, well, Liverpool, Kenny, you probably know this. You know the oracle in football, mate. When was the last time Liverpool sold a player directly to Man United?
Directly.
Directly, not that he left and went somewhere else, then went to United like Michael Owen. They were directly from Liverpool because we do this shit with Chelsea all the time.
It hasn't happened for years. It hasn't happened for years. It won't happen either. It just won't happen. Either way, just.
We can reel off all of our players. Frank Stapleton, Man United, Van Persie.
But the reason I brought that up is look how many players we signed from Chelsea.
Yeah.
They're literally a city rival. They're in our city, same city.
Yeah, but it's they've got to. The other day, Berta's no different to Edu, and Arteta's no different to Unai Emery, and both of them are no different to Arsene Wenger. This is something we've been doing since 2006. And it's just, and basically, it's open goals. They're open goal signings. Well, but, you look at Petr Cech, didn't have to leave London. William Gallas still managed to play for a big club, and he wanted to get well over in Chelsea because he didn't like the way he was handled. And then you've got, who is it? David Luiz, still wants to live in London. Him, Willian, and I think another...
That's Sterling, Yossi Benayoun, Sana Diarra.
Yeah, but they owned a restaurant in West London.
Yeah.
So there's no way they were going to leave London, and that's the thing with Chelsea. The Kepa one is an open goal signing. Let's face it, the guy, Bournemouth can't afford his wages. We can. He's an archetypal number 2 because he was number 2 at Real Madrid. So that's an open goal. He doesn't have to leave London. Another open goal. You know, if he does play when my guy gets injured, he's played big games, so it's another open goal. So the club are going to sell it as an open goal signing, and all they're going to say, oh yeah, the only coincidence is he plays for Chelsea. But at the end of the day, Chelsea players are easy to get because there's no kind of like tug of war. It's just, yeah, how much? Yeah, we give it you. The player will want to come because they're still in London. And I think that is the situation. I think the thing with Madueke, it was a no-brainer for him because he is surplus to requirements at Chelsea because they bought a shed load of wingers on both flanks. So once again, Mr. Berta, who's part of this, by the way, is as much as I want the manager, I don't think the manager has any right to be here. I'm keeping my bit of beady eye on Berta, and I'm watching him because he's not the angel Gabriel everyone thinks he is. He's doing
you wait till he brings in Cesc, mate.
Yeah, well, that's what I think he will do. But I think the thing with Berta,
I told you that, didn't I, Lee? How many months ago did I say Cesc could be the new Arsenal manager?
Well, a lot of people in football have a lot of good things to say about Cesc. Like Cesc has got this footballing utopia where we're going to go back to playing tiki-taka, beautiful play. He'll get a shock of his life when he will have to conform. He will have to, play 4-3-3. He will have to double up on the wingers. I'm sorry, but that bloody 61 years ago happened.
Yeah, it was the last time Liverpool sold him a player, mate.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, but even so, when you look at Berta, what have you seen so far for him? Open goal signing, Norgard. Yeah. Open goal signing, Kepa. Open goal signing, Madueke. Look what he did with Gyokeres. He just looked at the opportunity. He said, "Hang on here. Everyone says Arsenal needs a striker. Why not Arsenal go for this guy? There's a clause in his contract. He wants to leave. Well, Mick Arteta may not want this guy. Well, we need to win the league now, so I'm going for this guy." So
I think that's the only signing, Kenny. Sorry to cut across you. I think that's the only signing that I'm looking at right now, saying that's not really an open goal. I said we fought the best striker in Europe last season. Only Mbappe scored more than him.
The availability is an open goal, though. The fact that he's available is an open goal.
But I think everyone's available, Kenny. Like if you put the money down, you're getting anyone.
This player is because you think about it. We've got the only two teams in Europe that got out of traps pretty quickly on this guy. Were Man United got out of traps before us, and then this guy's come along and he's got out of traps. So any other club that's going to get out of traps, two clubs already talked to him and already turned his head. Clearly, he's going to come to us. It's no brainer because we're playing high level football at the moment, and Man United isn't. As I always say, the reason why I say Man United, one thing is factual in football. When Man United get it right, not even Man City will be able to compete with them.
Yeah, they're still faffing around.
Well, I think what Lee said as well is that the for me the Gyokeres signing is the first one that wasn't Arteta's first choice because he definitely clearly wanted Sesko. And if we had Berta last summer and Sesko said I want to stay another year, we would have got a striker because Berta would have said, "Well, no, you're getting a striker." So that I do like that he's done that. I thought he said, "No, you want a striker, you're getting one." So I'm curious to see now because there's no way that Arteta is going to put this guy in the team and say, right, let's build a team around getting him goals. He's going to tell Gyokeres what runs to make. And he's going to tell him, you need to drop back, you need to do this. And he'll try to make some obvious tweak that if he does hit the ground running, he can go, see, I did that for him. And the thing with the Chelsea signings as well, I mean, again, not to go back to Canton, but all of them say this, we're so much bigger than Chelsea. They don't count in Chelsea's recent history. Why wouldn't Madueke want to come to us? We're a much bigger club than Chelsea, right? Well, if we weren't, when we were terrible last season, right? We were terrible last season. So how can we sign rejects from a team that are supposedly worse than us and get better? It's not possible to get better if we're signing the players that can't get in their team. Chelsea had two terrible goalkeepers last season, and we're signing the worst of the
trade. Why didn't Bournemouth buy him? Because they paid his 75 grand wages last season on loan. Yeah, and they
went and got the other keeper and paid.
They're buying Petrovic instead for 25 million. Why don't we go and get Petrovic? And
apparently, from the money penny, he had a quietly had a good season, which is impossible.
Yeah, but this makes me laugh as well. What you just said, Shane, spot on, right? Because we should be looking at players coming in to start football matches.
Yeah.
I don't care about who gets dropped. If
Why is
Saka
it
gets
Saka?
dropped, Saka gets dropped. If that
He
means
gets
the guy that's in is better than him and doing the business, Saka's got a roll bench.
But
Yeah,
the
and I'm
only
using
fan
him
base
as the
in world
example
can
because he's the golden boy at the club, right? But that's how you raise the level of your football club. You buy players that are better than the ones you've got, not backups to the ones who can't win nothing.
At least they should have been bought.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like I've said it before, Liverpool fans, when they signed Wirtz, didn't turn around. I didn't hear one of them say, oh, well, what happens to Szoboszlai? What happens to McAllister? They didn't give a shit. They go, oh, we've got a world-class player. We're always, oh, but what about Saka? I've heard a grown man say, I don't want Gyokeres because he'll take penalties off Saka, and Saka's
it's crazy.
A grown man.
It's just going to be interesting, right? It's going to be interesting how this manager handles Gyokeres because he's not an easy man. He's by the looks of things and his attitude towards his club. I'm not going to training and he's down in tools. He's obviously got some attitude about him, and apparently Arteta don't do with attitude. That's why we didn't sign him.
That's what he wants.
It's going to be interesting how he handles him because this guy has got a bit of an attitude, and when you're scoring them sort of goals, you have to have a bit of attitude. So it'll be.
Then it'll be. Oh well, he didn't get the strike he wanted.
It's even harder.
There's 460 odd people in the house. It's only 115 likes. Come on.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is, it's not a dig at Arteta because he's going to be one of his hardest acts as an Arsenal manager. Is probably his hardest job. Is having to convince us that he's fully on board with his signing of Gyokeres. Two, he try and convince every Arsenal fan that he's going to change. He's going to happily change the way he plays to accommodate this player. I can't wait to see his first press conference if we get the player because but Arsenal is an if. It's not when, it's if. So I can't wait to see his press conference. I can't wait to see the way he tries to assimilate him into the team. Because
the only way Gyokeres is going to become effective. Sorry, the only way. Go on, mate. The only way Gyokeres is going to become effective is if we get a creative player. Because we ain't getting creativity out of Odegaard. That's why we need Eze.
Yeah, but
none of that midfield create. None of them.
No, none of them. None of them.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
He's not going to put crosses, is he? He's not going to play. Like I said, the inspirational game where it's just we just concentrate on wing play, old-fashioned wing play. So how is he going to? What are we?
Yeah, it's not like we've got Mesut Ozil in midfield doing them through the line passes through the middle, putting them on a plate. Yeah, ain't Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, Martin Odegaard's nowhere near the level for this football club if we want to win.
And now, Sporting, he has 2 number 10s to supply.
And the thing is, right, if we played this Gyokeres exactly the same style of play we're playing now, we're fucked anyway. Yeah, which is why I've rated the window. I think it was yesterday. I've rated it. If he comes in and the window shuts, it's a 4 out of 10, even with Gyokeres. Yeah, because even though I want Gyokeres at the club and he's a quality striker, fantastic. Yeah, how are we going to set him up? How he's going to maybe score the goals where we're whipping him across the box and there's nobody there, right? But these like the way we play football, I don't get it. We're going to have to tweak a few things, and I don't really see how this manager's going to tweak.
He won't do it.
Which means if he fucks up the first 5 games, he could be sacked anyway.
Yeah. Christian's got to change his way. He's got to change the style of play.
He has got to change it, DJ. 100%.
What we're doing it. Yeah, Christian's saying it's going to be a 10 out of 10 window.
How do you know? It's not May 2026. No one knows. At the end of the day, I know it's the most. I know it's I'm being a small sport and probably being a grouch, but footballing logic states we're only going to find out how good a player is at the end of the next season. Most importantly, we win something, and if they deliver the goods in terms of goals. Gyokeres is only a successful side next season if he scores 25 or more league goals.
It's like when people sit there and say, who was team of the season? We'll pick any 11 out of Liverpool's out of their squad because they won the fucking league.
Exactly.
Who's player of the season? Pick somebody out of Liverpool's team makes they won the league. Yeah, but it all sounds good for the internet and for Sky Sports and all these media come, oh, wow. Oh, look, he's had a fantastic season. Why don't they do a team of the season a collective team of the season from all clubs, because team of the season is very specific, isn't it? It's team of the season. The team won the league, so pick 11 from their team. Yeah, and it's the same with this transfer window nonsense. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, wow, great window. Oh, it's an 8 out of 10 window. Cool. What if we don't win anything again then? Then what?
True.
Does it, like you just said, Kenny, does that then become a 3 out of 10, a 0 or 1? Sorry, Jez.
And also,
No.
you could sign the same transfer window, and then if Liverpool signed Zubimendi, Gyokeres, and all the players we signed, it could be a better transfer window because he'll get proper play out of these guys. He'll know how to use them. With Gyokeres, this is a manager who didn't want him, and we've seen the way he is before with players that he didn't sign, players that, you know what I mean? He will have to, and I've said it and I repeat it, he will change one thing about his game that's really obvious, and then hope that it works and go, see, I fixed him. Like
he'll score a few more headers than he scored before.
Yeah, exactly. He scored. Look at his headers have gone up. His headers have gone through the roof. Look what Arteta did for him. Like he did with Lewis Skelly. I saw him in one training session and saw he's a left back. No, sorry, mate. You somehow ran out of left backs, even though you could make a five-a-side team out of left back jabs.
I thought he's got the size to play as left back.
You had a left-footed player and you put him at left back.
And I'll show you.
He's going to get found out next season, by the way, that poor kid. And I feel for him because it's not his natural position. He was getting found out near the end of last season. And he's going to get found out next season, and the press are going to pile on him. Absolutely pile on him.
I'll get you in a minute, DJ. Thank you, Scott, for your super chat, my friend. 17 players have went from Chelsea to Arsenal. 7 Chelsea players have joined under Arteta's 6-year reign. The other 10 were over a 73-year period.
And none of them have worked out. None of the ones Arteta signed has worked out. That's why he keeps doing it, because you get one right and they go, see, I told you.
Yeah, it's like when I sat down earlier on watching Saeed and D on Saeed's channel. Yeah, and they were saying, oh yeah, but if we keep him, yeah, because Saeed was saying, oh, Arteta should have been sacked when we finished 8th for the second time. Yeah, and then D sat there and said, he goes, yeah, but if he wins the league this season, yeah, then it was the right decision to keep him then, wasn't it?
I heard this one. He's used this before. That could go on to infinity, though.
How long do we keep? Yeah, exactly. How long do we keep going?
And then he goes, told you. 15 seasons into it.
Yeah, 15 seasons, he's finally won a trophy. See, I told you we should have kept him.
Yeah.
Told you.
The thing is, you could have won 10 in between that, though, so it makes no sense.
Yeah, but what happens if we go backwards and finish 8th? That's all you get out of them. Going backwards and finishing 8th is no difference finishing 2nd, mate.
Well, I'd rather flip a coin. I'd rather flip a coin and try and win something than just stagnate for the rest of my time. You know what I mean? What's the point in that?
I'll tell you another tactic, guys, that reason why Norgard was brought in, and you saw evidence of that in the second leg against PSG, the long ball. If we are losing or we're a goal behind, you watch. Norgard will be brought on, and it'll be long throws, pumping it long, and aerial threat, Wimbledon FC. That'll be his tactic. That'll be his tactic. If we're 1-0 or 2-1 or chasing, his tactic is Norgard on, Raya kicking it long, someone banging in long throws, and that'll be his tactic. That's exactly why he brought Norgard in for his aerial threat.
Because his whole summer plans are gone out the window now, because he brought in Zubimendi to slow it down even more, i.e. the keeper rolls it out to him, and then he wanted to go long then with Sesko, and now that's all gone out the window, because all he ever had was short passing and long ball, and he wanted Sesko. So he's going, what am I going to do here? Well, you paid 15 million and you're meant to be this amazing coach who improves every single player. Let's see you do it then. But the thing is, and I've said this before and I will repeat it, the first 3 or 4 games of the season, Zubimendi, the second Raya rolls that ball out to him, they're going to swamp him. They're going to absolutely swamp him the way Amarin did and absolutely ruined them in the Europa League last season. Yeah, he's going to start making mistakes because he's going to be thrown straight into the fire. And when you sign a player like that who's not used to the pace, you need to have someone that is experienced already there, and he's on the bench for the first few games of the season. You bring him on for 20 minutes when you're 1-0 up, let him get used to the pace, because Amarin is just going to go the second, and they're going to roll it right out to him. You swamp him. And if he makes a few mistakes in the first few games of the season, we're away to Liverpool third game of the season, the best team in the world at the high press. He is, and he's going to make mistakes. And will he be able to recover then? Because if he has a disastrous start to the season and the pressure piles on him, there's nobody to take him. You have to take him out of the firing line. You're bringing Norgard in. You know what I mean? Like, but that's you know what I mean. If you have to take him out of the firing line, you're bringing Norgard in. And that's craziness to me. And that's people don't seem to realise. I put up the first 11 that I think will start with next season. And I said, right, 2 injuries and a suspension. And the team just looked absolutely flimsy. Yeah, absolutely flimsy. You're talking Mad Wakey out the left. And I said, right, Timber won't be fit for the start of the season. If Ben White picks up a knock, which he could easily do, you're probably looking at Norgard at right back. You know what I mean? Like this is what our team is at. Oh no, but we signed a striker. It all goes away. It all goes away because we signed a striker. It's not a computer game. It infuriates me. These fans, they're like children. They're all like children. Before
we wrap this up, I know we've got to go different shows and everything. I'll start you. I'll come to you, Kenny, on this. What do you predict? What do you predict Arteta is going to win next season? This season, what do you predict?
You know what? I'll take a deep breath because as much he has to win something, but I think I don't see him winning the league because I think Liverpool and Man City are better than us.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's going to go into the clubs. I actually think that the best he can. I don't think he'll win anything. I really don't, even because I think there's stronger teams than us in the league, and I think that in the Champions League, I think the big teams are going to get a bit stronger now, and I think PSG, despite what happened on Sunday, they'll be more experienced and they'll be a hard team to beat. We're going to have to win the Champions League the hard way, like we tried to do last season. Let's face it, if we play a team, a proper team, not a team of individuals, but a team, a good team with players who work hard but got quality, I think we'll struggle. So I don't think we'll anything this season.
I think, Kenny, also, people in the chat are saying League Cup. No, it's got to be more than the League Cup now. It's got to be more than that.
I think that's the best Arsenal can hope for.
Yeah, but it's got to be more than that.
I know that, but judging by what you remember, ball hasn't been kicked, and judging the way we play, we have to hit the ground running, and we have to be immaculate. I can't see Arsenal being immaculate in this league. So if they're not immaculate, how are they going to win the league? Because with these two giants.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that Lee on this one? Same to you, mate. He's got to win big, isn't he? It's got to be the Premier League, or it's got to be Champions League. Now he's made his statement. We're getting these players in. Gyokeres, first striker we've bought in 4 bloody years. It's got to now come down to the crunch, and he's got to come out and do the business, whether he likes it or not. I hate to say this because I love this cup. The FA Cup isn't big enough. The League Cup certainly ain't big enough. It's got to be one of the big two. It's got to be Champions League, Premier League. If not, he's got to go.
He ain't winning either. He ain't winning nothing.
Yeah,
no, he ain't going to win nothing. We already know that these players, there's about 8 or 9 players that have got knee surgeries, hamstring surgeries. It's a World Cup year. They're going to be having one eye on the World Cup as soon as we get past Christmas. And into New Year. Yeah, we're going to be in 3 cup competitions in the league. And he ain't ever proven that he's any good at running all the way to the end of all of these cup competitions whilst competing for a title. So what are we actually winning here? And when he comes up against a half-decent manager who's tactically astute, he gets his pants pulled down every time. Let's just be real with it. Yeah, he might get the odd win every now and again against Pep. Whoopee. Whoopee-doo. And what? Yeah, as soon as he plays Eddie Howe, we know that they're going to school us. Yeah, as soon as we play PSG, we know they gave us the run around. Yeah, as soon as we play half-decent teams, with half-decent coaches, we're finished. And then if you come up against a low block, he's still not, in 6 years nearly, found a way to break down a low block. So when you come up against the Evertons and teams like that are going to stink the gaff out, still haven't figured a way of fucking getting through it. So I don't see us winning anything. And I'll be honest with you, Jez. If we start this season off and after 10 games, we've lost 2 or 3 games, I reckon it'll be gone.
I said this last night on your show. DJB.
Yeah.
It's got, there's a comment there. Valid comment from Gunnar Wiggs. Would a domestic double be enough? I don't think so. Not for me.
No, I said if we won the Champions League, he would have had to have gone. But I'll be honest with you, Jez. He's put this pressure on himself. It's just years and years of neglect. The pressure's on. He's got no room for error now because he's brought this on himself. No one else has brought this on apart from him. The money he's wasted. The players he's brought in have not been good enough. And even if we do bring in Gyokeres, Eze, and players like this, he ain't going to change his philosophy. He ain't going to change the way he plays. It's his way or the highway. And under that managerial kind of way of thinking, we ain't going to. And he's going to. He has to win the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup because the pressure's on him to win the Premiership or the Champions League. So the domestic cups are going to go out the window, and he's brought that on himself by adding this pressure on himself. So they're gone. So that only leaves 2 cups, Premiership or Champions League, and there's teams that are better than us. Liverpool for one, City for another one, and the teams in the Champions League. That's it.
Do you reckon you get to another Champions League semi-final?
No, not next season. I'll be very surprised. I think the way we play, we're more suitable for the Champions League than the Premiership, but I'll be very surprised if we win the semi-final. So, yeah, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup he will win because he knows he's under pressure to win something bigger. And they're not, and they're miles away.
Well, we know what he does with the domestic cups, especially the FA Cup, which I've always found very, very odd. It's the only cup he's ever won, Arsenal, and he wins it every year. We've never got past the 4th round since we won that FA Cup back in 2020. No. And I think it's a bloody disgrace. Considering no different amount of times. But that'll soon be caught up and overtaken. Shane, your view on this, mate? It's got to be a big one this year, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah, and it won't be. He's winning absolutely nothing next season. Absolutely nothing next season. I planted my flag before the summer, at the end of last season, and said that we won't get top 4, and I fully stick by that. I don't think we'll get top 4. If he's in charge come Palace on the last day of the season, we will be outside the top 4, probably outside the top 5. I think City, Liverpool guaranteed to finish ahead of us. I think Newcastle will finish ahead of us. Champions League might slow them down a bit, but I think they learned from last time. And if Chelsea sign a goalkeeper, which they will, because they always sign what they need, they'll finish ahead of us. And then I think Villa will not have in Champions League. If they hold on to the players that they have and add 1 or 2 players, they can rest for most of the Europa League league stage. I think they could finish ahead of us. I think he's going to absolutely fall apart next season. Like we said, he bins off the cups. Doesn't have the squad for it. No matter who we sign, the squad's too thin. And no matter how big the squad is, we've covered this before, it doesn't matter who you bring in to challenge Saka. He's not going to play. If Saka can walk, he's playing. If Odegaard can walk, he's playing. I just see so many teams that are better than us. I see as soon as we lose to Liverpool on the 3rd game of the season, then that top 6 ridiculous league is gone. One of the last things they have to defend this guy. When they start turning on each other, the pressure will grow on him. We've seen what he's like under pressure. He can't have these press conferences forever where he's just letting in the hand-picked Cantons and the hand-picked guys that just ask him the questions he wants. European games, he'll get asked the question he wants. I think he's feeling the pressure. And I don't see it, man. I see us starting terribly. I think if we were to get rid of him before Christmas and get a new manager in, a winning manager, then suddenly the cups are on. I said this on my show the other day. If we were to get in a top manager, overnight, we look like we have one of the best midfields in the country because we have Nwaneri and we have Lewis Skelly challenging for a midfield that's already decent. We instantly look like we have a great midfield. But with him in charge, Nwaneri will never get into 10. He knows he'll never play in the 10.
No,
he why is he? Well, he turned up for training late. Well, that guy could come into training 2 hours early, leave 2 hours late, be the best player on the pitch, and he's not getting ahead of Odegaard. What kind of incentive is that for a young player? Right. There's no incentive for him to step up. None. Lewis Skelly has been in. He insists he's a left back now. Oh, what? Sign Morgan Rogers for 100 million. Play Lewis Skelly in the 8. He'd be the exact same type of player. The exact same type of player as Morgan. We don't need to sign Morgan Rogers. If we were to bring in a proper manager before Christmas, then I think we could win a domestic cup, get back in the top 4 and start to build again. But if he's in charge come the end of next season, we'll be outside the top 4. We'll be out of both cups. And I can see us going out in the Champions League. We might get through the league stage, but we have to take into account, and I'll finish on this, we do have to take into account that all these players, like DJB said, they all look like they're done with them already. And it's only going to get worse next season. So that all adds up. If you start losing a couple of games, if we lose to United in the first game of the season, Leeds at home looks like an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. And then and to make it worse, then you're thinking, oh God, if we don't get 3 points, we have Liverpool away next. You know what I mean? Every game seems a lot harder. Than I think that the pressure's gotten to him. We have to remember he's going to try and squeeze Havertz in somewhere because we know what he's like. And it's just, I just see it being an unmitigated disaster next season. And I think that's what we need. It's the only way to get him out is if it's an absolute disaster. And he's like DJ said, he's brought it all on himself. He's brought every bit of this on himself.
He has, and he's put the pressure on. Kenny, the assemble says, do you think Blunderman will quit? Thoughts, if any?
He'll quit. If he was to quit, it won't be in season. And if he was to be replaced, it won't be in season. It'll be in the end of the season. So the pressure's on him. And at the end of the day, he should embrace it anyway. He's an Arsenal manager. If he can't handle the pressure, he shouldn't be here. And if his acolytes think, don't like the fact that we're making demands on him, you're asking for pressure, then I'm sorry. The same people who tell us to go and support Tottenham, well, maybe they can go and support a small club. Go and support Barnet. Some of you, I know there's a ghastly woman who's an estate agent from, East London. Why shouldn't she go and support Dagenham and Redbridge? That's nearer to her. She can go there. She can tell them all the stories about. She can go and tell everyone how she was received flowers before the match at Anfield in '89. Silly woman, ghastly woman. She's your original sort of catfish one. I know a lot of men fancy her. I've met her. You'll be disappointed.
And on that note,
on that note, gentlemen. On that note, Lee. Before we wrap it up, come on, guys have got to jump onto another show. Do you think he'll walk out the door, Lee? I don't think he will.
No, his ego's too big, Jez.
Yeah. Too arrogant.
Yeah, his ego's way too big.
Mrs. Arteta's got far too used to 15 million a year lifestyle, man, and he ain't getting that anywhere else, not even close.
Yeah, I can't see it myself. I think he'll have to be thrown out the ground, personally.
Right up on the wheels come up.
That's the only way he's going to go. But I think DJ, Shane, Kenny, Lee, what we've
big up, Jez. Thank you very much.
Is that if we have a bad start of the season, like we lose Man United away, Liverpool, I think we'd lose to Liverpool. I think they're just too good. I don't think we're going to get much out of Newcastle away. I think if we lose to Man United and beat Leeds, that'll cover over the cracks for a little bit. But I'd love to have a debate with that clown. I would absolutely kill that guy in debate. Not physically, in debate. But gentlemen, Shane, thank you for joining. What you got coming up, my friend?
Absolute pleasure, Jed. Absolute pleasure to share the screen with four legends and a wonderful chat. Really enjoyed it. I like sitting around with like-minded people. Yeah, I've got the obviously the full Irish breakfast tomorrow morning. Every morning 10:30. What day is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. And then at 4:00 I have the show I do with Views, Clean Through 1-on-1. But yeah, basically just the full Irish every morning at 10:30. It's going really well, and I really enjoyed it. It gets my day started, and legendary chat and all that. But listen, big up to everybody on the panel. Big up to the chat. It's been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
The only trouble is when you do that show, right? It makes me bloody hungry. I see that Irish breakfast thing, and I'm thinking, I need a fry up now, and I think that's too hot for a fry up. Anyway, there you go. Thanks for joining us. Just going to say, I'm 649 away from 10k. So bloody subs up, people. Come on, do me a favour. DJB, as always, mate. Great show earlier. Loved you with Shane.
Just doing the thing on the channel, which is picking up. Done a show this afternoon and retro with Shane and stuff. And I'm going over to Dan Potts's now. So that's it. So just keep an eye out. I'll be streaming and popping up here, there, and everywhere. But always a pleasure to share the screen with your likes of you and Kenny and Lee and big up the chat. It's been awesome. No, I've really enjoyed it, Jez. Thank you very much. Yeah, and big up to Lee, big up to Kenny and all of yous. And thanks a lot, mate. Enjoyed it. Good.
Congratulations to SW6, your mate Lee, for winning the Club World Cup.
Fucking get out of here, son.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, big up, Chelsea. You've got to take your hats off.
Rolfie, piss off, man. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, Rolf.
Leave us alone.
Leave our club alone.
Leave
Yeah,
Kinky
no, if
alone.
I do get a 10K, mate, I will do a show. I will do a show. I want to try and get the 10K by the start of the new season because that would be epic. And yeah, there we go. Oh Christ, he's off. He's off, mate. He's off. He's
Just block him.
world domination, geez. Yeah, big up. Kenny Ken, mate, on Insta. Where can we find you? What you doing? What you got coming up?
I'm at Kenny Ken 1972, and I'm on Dan's show after this, and I've got a show with DG. DG's, he's going to probably wind me up about Martinelli because he doesn't want Martinelli sold. He's a Martinelli fan, and he can't get his hand around the fact that I don't think that Saka's world class yet. So that's
I won't let him do it. I won't let him do it to you, Kenny.
So I'll fight me corner, as the Irish say, as Shay will know. Fight me corner. I'm well able, as you know, another Irish expression for Shay's benefit. And one thing I will say about Tony Rolfe, oh God, when we thrashed Chelsea 5-0, I didn't hear from Tony Rolfe. When we beat Chelsea, he tried to do quite a lot.
I just remember when he was at the cup final in 17. He said he'd meet us afterwards. He was nowhere to be seen. Do you remember? He'd legged it.
Yeah,
Tony Rolfe, great guy, but if there's a big chance about Tony Rolfe, I haven't met him or her.
Your sister has invited me onto the hybrid squad.
Hey,
go on, Jezza.
That's because you need a 10K, Jezza. That's why.
Yeah, something in it.
Tony thinks he's funny. He legged it off, and we found him in the car park. Do you remember, Kenny?
Yes.
We found him in the car park miles away.
Yeah, looking for his car.
Yeah. We'll see how they fare next season against the Chelsea.
But one thing about it, though,
Don't shout too soon.
I'm going to say for Tony's benefit, don't rule them out of doing well in the Champions League. If they win the Champions League next season and they're just as fluky enough to do it, don't be surprised.
No.
Yeah, these fuckers always scam their way to a trophy somehow, don't they?
Yeah,
mentality. They've got big game mentality.
Proper managers, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, people.
Big up, my friends.
As always,
take it easy.
Thank you for coming over.
See you guys.
See you guys.
I'm going on with Potsy now. We're going to go and battle the top Gooners on there. There's 3 of them on there.
All of them.
So, we're ready for them. We're ready for them.
Christian's there. Egal is brother. Egal. He's there.
Raccoon
and African Gooners there as well. Brandon's fighting a one-man fight at the minute. So we're going to go in there and keep rushing.
They've had it easy for 20 minutes.
Yeah, they have. We're going to go in there and rush them. Me, you, and Kenny, mate. We're going to go in there. They're going to fucking.
It's going to be like Jurassic Park now. That last on the desk and started. You're going to see water.
Big up, Jez.
Nice one, Jez. I appreciate you having me on, mate. Big up the chat as well.
Cheers up. Big up, Jez. Make sure you get the 10K.
See you later. Take
and
care.
Sub to us all. Take care.
See you later.